Let's check in with our reporter Masego Rahlaga. She's at the Wanderers taxi rank for us. Masego, when we spoke to you just a little earlier, people piling into taxis, making their way home for the holiday season. Is that still the case there this morning?
That's still the case, Michelle, and actually when I spoke to some of the taxi associations that are here, they say that it's going to be the case for the rest of the weekend, actually, because Christmas is on Tuesday and more people will be making their way home. But I'm just going to try and grab a commuter or two. Baba, sorry, bengifuna ukubuza nje ukuthi ubaba uyaphi namhlanje ekhaya uya kuphi?
Ngikhaphonga uye Maputo.
Emaputo kusekhaya baba. So nibaphathelene ekhaya?
Amaswiti abantwana awuncane nje.
Manje indlela isikhathi esingakanani ukuhamba ngeteksi?
At least 4 hours.
6 to 4 hours?
Yeah.
Or 4 to 6 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, Baba. All right. Now, Michelle, Baba is speaking to me in isiZulu. He says he is going home to Maputo. This is his bag. He says he's got a few things for the kids, things like sweets. I actually saw him buy some of the sweets here today. He's got some sweets. He says he's got just a few little things that he could afford to take home with him today. There is a lot more people, Michelle, and actually what I've actually realized is that the taxi drivers feel like they've got their hands full, and we can only hope, Michelle, of course, that they'll take the rests that they need and that they'll drive with caution and make sure that they stay with the speed limit.
Now, Masego, just yesterday we heard from the Transport Minister. He was suggesting to taxi owners to allow for 2 drivers, which is so important when we just take a look at the number of people killed on the country's roads. We know that driver fatigue is one of those problems, and if you're driving long distance in particular, it's so important to take turns specifically for taxi drivers. Is that something that's being considered?
It's something that's definitely been considered. When I spoke to the taxi associations, they also say they realize the importance, although they complain a little bit about the money to pay some of these drivers, 2 drivers. They are saying that for now they are telling their drivers to only take 1 trip a day, because they say some of the drivers actually want to make money themselves to take home, and so they try and take more. They try and take more than 1 trip a day. So can you imagine a driver, for instance, Baba is going to Maputo, he says it's 4 to 6 hours, and to drive all the way to Maputo, come back to Johannesburg, and then try and drive that other 6 hours. So it's 18 hours on the road. 1 person, it's just not possible, Michelle, and that is something that the taxi associations are saying they'll try. I do see a few taxi drivers, and they're a little bit far from us right now, but very busy actually this morning here at the Wanderers. So they're all carrying bags. They're all taking their passengers in the taxis. The queue marshals are also actually quite busy. And, as you can see, Michelle, business also apparently is booming for some of the people who are selling goods here today, for people who want to take anything back home. But back to what you were saying, Michelle, definitely something that the associations are thinking of. They're hoping that they can get subsidy from government to be able to pay 2 drivers per trip.
Yeah, absolutely. So important. Well, thanks very much for that update. Our reporter Masego Rahlaga live to us there from the Wanderers taxi rank. As you can see, a bustling Wanderers taxi rank there.